After the Civil War ended, America stood at a turning point filled with energy and hope as people dreamed of rebuilding their lives and creating a stronger nation through work, progress, and invention. The country was growing rapidly, and new towns began rising from the ground as farmers, traders, and dreamers looked toward a future shaped by machines and human imagination. This period became known as the American Industrial Revolution, a time when hand tools were replaced by powerful engines and the world started to move faster than ever before. Steam engines roared across the land, connecting cities and farms, while railroads stitched the country together from the Atlantic to the Pacific, making travel and trade easier than anyone had imagined. The sound of hammers and machines filled the air as factories began to rise, turning raw materials into products that reached every corner of the nation, bringing wealth, jobs, and change. Coal mines provided the power to run engines, while iron and steel became the backbone of every bridge, train, and building, marking the birth of a new industrial age. Cities grew larger and louder as people left their small villages to work in factories, where long hours and hard labor became a part of daily life, yet dreams of success kept them going. The invention of the telegraph and later the telephone made communication faster than ever before, connecting people and businesses across great distances for the first time in history. Electricity soon entered the scene, bringing light to homes and factories, allowing people to work even after sunset and changing the rhythm of life forever. Great inventors like Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla became symbols of human progress as their discoveries in light and energy shaped the modern world that was just beginning to form. Edison's electric bulb turned night into day, while Tesla's brilliant mind gave the world alternating current and the dream of limitless power for the future. In the middle of this transformation, the idea of innovation spread like wildfire, inspiring thousands of young minds to experiment, build, and dream bigger than before. The sewing machine, typewriter, and telephone became household tools that saved time, improved communication, and made everyday life more efficient and connected. Alexander Graham Bell, ACES telephone, brought voices together across miles, proving that distance was no longer a barrier for human connection. In the late 1800s, Henry Ford introduced a revolution within the revolution by creating automobiles that common people could afford, changing travel and industry forever. His assembly line method showed the world that mass production could turn luxury into necessity, making cars available to families across America. The rise of factories and machines turned America into a nation of builders as people worked together to produce goods, faster, cheaper, and better than ever before. Millions of immigrants arrived from Europe chasing the American dream, bringing with them skills, determination, and faith that hard work could change their destiny. These immigrants built the railroads, dug the mines, and worked in the smoky mills that powered America's unstoppable progress toward modernity. Life in the factories was not easy, with long hours, little pay, and unsafe conditions, but hope was stronger than exhaustion, and belief in progress kept the people moving forward. With time, a few powerful men began to dominate industries. Names like Rockefeller, Carnegie, and Vanderbilt became known everywhere for oil, steel, and rail empires. They became both admired and feared, building wealth that shaped the American economy and changed how business worked forever. But with great power came great inequality, as poor workers struggled while the rich lived in luxury, creating the need for change and fairness in the growing industrial world. Workers started to unite, forming labor unions to fight for safety, better pay, and dignity, and their movement slowly gave birth to modern workers' rights. The idea spread that industry should serve humanity, not the other way around, and slowly laws began to protect children and workers from exploitation. Innovation did not stop, it grew even faster as airplanes and radios entered the scene, giving humans wings to fly and voices that could travel through airwaves. The Wright brothers. First flight in 1903 turned the dream of flight into reality, opening the sky for a century of exploration and adventure. Radio soon became the heartbeat of communication, connecting people across states, sharing music, stories, and news that united a growing nation. As technology advanced, America's cities turned into centers of invention and ambition, where skyscrapers rose high as symbols of modern strength and vision. The Industrial Revolution changed the look of the country forever, as smokestacks touched the sky and electric lights filled the streets with endless glow. Education began to spread because the new world needed minds, not just hands, and schools became the foundation for the next generation of inventors. Factories continued to expand, bringing new opportunities for wealth and innovation, turning America into a global example of what progress could achieve. The railways carried not only goods but ideas, uniting people from different backgrounds under the single banner of opportunity. America's growing power soon started to influence the entire world as its inventions, machines, and spirit of freedom inspired other nations to dream bigger. The Industrial Revolution gave rise to a new kind of America, one that believed in change technology and the power of human imagination. Yet it also reminded people that progress without compassion can create imbalance and suffering, and that every invention carries responsibility. Slowly, reforms began to balance progress with protection, giving workers safety and families stability while keeping innovation alive. The government began investing in infrastructure, education, and science, building the pillars of the modern American nation. By the early 1900s, the United States had transformed from a recovering country into an industrial giant admired and feared across the world. Its factories produced everything from clothes to cars, from weapons to wonders, and its cities became the engines of global trade. The Industrial Revolution made America the land of opportunity, where dreams were forged in steel and progress became a national identity. The spirit of invention flowed in every direction, from electricity to engines, from flight to communication, shaping the century ahead. It was an age of speed, movement, and discovery, where every challenge turned into a chance to create something greater. America proved that a nation's power is not in gold or land, but in the ideas of its people and the courage to make them real. The machines built wealth and comfort, but it was human effort that built trust, unity, and the promise of tomorrow. The Industrial Revolution showed that when vision meets determination, even a struggling nation can rise to greatness. From coal mines to factories, from railroads to airplanes, America grew into a living example of progress born through perseverance. The revolution of machines became a revolution of minds, reminding the world that change begins with curiosity and ends with creation. By the time the 20th century began, America stood tall as the symbol of progress, innovation, and endless possibility for the modern world. The American Industrial Revolution was more than a chapter in history. It was the heartbeat of a nation that used machines to change itself and then used its spirit to change the world.